Once upon a time, in a cozy village called Abu, there lived a couple named Chukwudi and Nkechi. They were overjoyed when they were blessed with twin daughters, whom they named Adama and Chioma. Adama, the older of the two, was born with an extraordinary intellect. From a very young age, she showed a love for learning and a sharp mind that set her apart from her peers. She could solve puzzles and understand complex ideas with ease. However, despite her intelligence, Adama didn't have the same striking looks as her sister. Chioma, on the other hand, was gifted with breathtaking beauty. Her smile was like sunshine, and her skin glowed with warmth. People couldn't help but be drawn to her radiance wherever she went. But while Chioma had beauty in abundance, she struggled to keep up with her sister's intelligence. Schoolwork often left her feeling confused and frustrated. As the twins reached the age of 10, their differences became even more apparent. Adama continued to excel in her studies, earning top marks in every subject. Her wisdom and intellect were admired by everyone in the village. Meanwhile, Chioma's beauty seemed to shine brighter with each passing day, captivating the hearts of all the villagers. Adama often felt overlooked and unappreciated because of her plain appearance, while Chioma struggled with feelings of inadequacy in the shadow of her sister's brilliance. Their parents, Chukwudi and Nkechi, tried their best to encourage and support both of their daughters, but it was challenging to balance their needs and aspirations. As the twins, Adama and Chioma, grew up in the village of Abu, everyone couldn't help but notice how stunningly beautiful Chioma was. People loved being around her because she lit up the room with her smile. This made Adama sometimes feel really envious of her sister's beauty. Sometimes she would lock herself in her room and cry. One day, when Adama was feeling especially sad, her mother came to her. "Adama, my dear, why are you crying?" her mother asked with concern. Adama sniffled and wiped away her tears. "It's not fair. Everyone loves Chioma because she's so beautiful, but nobody pays attention to me because I'm not pretty like her," Adama replied sadly. Her mother hugged her tightly and said, "Oh, my sweet Adama, don't ever think that way. You are special just the way you are. You may not have Chioma's beauty, but you have something even more amazing, your intelligence. You're the smartest girl in our village, and that's something to be proud of." Adama's eyes widened with surprise. "Really, Mom?" she exclaimed. "Yes, really," her mother replied with a smile. "Your intelligence is a gift, just like Chioma's beauty. Embrace who you are, my dear. You are unique and wonderful in your own way." Adama hugged her mother back, feeling a warmth spread through her heart. From that day on, whenever she felt envious of her sister's beauty, she remembered her mother's words and felt proud of her own intelligence. As Adama embraced her intelligence and found pride in who she was, Chioma's feelings took a different turn. Despite her radiant beauty, she couldn't shake the envy she felt toward her sister's intellect. Seeing Adama excel in her studies and earning admiration from the villagers only fueled Chioma's jealousy. Instead of celebrating her sister's achievements, Chioma found herself joining others in mocking Adama. She would make fun of Adama's plain appearance, belittling her for not being as beautiful as her peers. This behavior shocked and saddened their parents, Chukwudi and Nkechi, who tried desperately to bring their daughters together. Chukwudi and Nkechi spoke to Chioma, urging her to see the value in her sister's intelligence and to appreciate the unique qualities that made Adama special. But despite their efforts, Chioma remained resentful and distant, unable to accept her sister for who she was. Adama, hurt by her sister's actions, tried to reach out to Chioma, offering her love and understanding. But Chioma's envy and insecurity clouded her judgment, and she pushed Adama away, unwilling to acknowledge her as anything more than a reminder of her own shortcomings. Despite the tension between them, Adama refused to give up on her sister. She continued to show Chioma kindness and compassion, hoping that one day her sister would see beyond their differences and embrace the bond they shared as twins. As time went by, Adama and Chioma's fight got worse. Chioma's jealousy made her act mean to Adama, and they drifted apart like never before. Then one night, when the village was all peaceful, disaster struck. A big storm hit Abu, wrecking homes and ruining crops. People were left with nothing, but instead of hiding, Adama jumped into action. She used her smarts to help everyone. She organized help, gave out food, and made sure everyone had what they needed. Meanwhile, Chioma watched, feeling jealous of her sister. She wondered why Adama always had to be the one in charge, and why she thought she knew everything. But as time went on, Chioma started to change. Seeing her sister's kindness made something click inside her. One day, she went to Adama, tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry, Adama," she said, choked up with emotion. "I've been wrong. Your intelligence and kindness are way more beautiful than anything I have." Adama hugged her sister tight, tears of happiness rolling down her cheeks. "It's okay, Chioma," she said gently. "We're different, but we're still sisters, and together we can overcome anything." When the king heard about Adama's incredible deeds and how she helped the villagers, he was amazed. He couldn't believe how smart and kind she was. So he invited her to the palace to meet him. Adama was so honored and excited. She dressed up in her best clothes, feeling like a true princess. When she arrived at the palace, the king was so impressed by her that he offered her a scholarship to study at any school she wanted. Adama couldn't believe it. She was going to get to study and learn even more. Before she knew it, Adama became a celebrity in her village. Everyone talked about her and admired her for all the wonderful things she had done. But as Adama's fame grew, so did Chioma's jealousy. Little by little, she started to feel envious of her sister's success. As Adama's fame spread beyond the village, Chioma's envy turned into bitterness. She couldn't bear the thought of her sister being praised while she remained unnoticed. But instead of confronting her feelings, Chioma buried them deep inside, letting them fester and grow like a poisonous weed. Meanwhile, Adama continued to shine bright, grateful for the opportunities the king's scholarship had given her. She immersed herself in her studies, eager to learn and grow with each passing day. But even as she thrived academically, Adama couldn't shake the sadness she felt over her strained relationship with her sister. She longed for the bond they once shared, hoping that one day Chioma would find it in her heart to let go of her jealousy and embrace their sisterhood once again. Little did she know, their relationship was about to face its greatest test yet. One sunny day, as Chioma was heading out to meet a friend, she caught the eye of Prince Obi, who had just returned from the city. Instantly, he was smitten by her beauty. Excitedly, Prince Obi rushed back to the palace and described Chioma to the palace guards. "I saw the most beautiful girl today," he exclaimed. "She has the most mesmerizing smile and the most radiant presence." The palace guards listened intently, nodding in agreement. "Yes, my prince," they replied. "She is the daughter of Chukwudi and Nkechi, a well-respected family in our village." Prince Obi's eyes widened with surprise. "Wow, they have a daughter as stunning as her?" he exclaimed in amazement. "Yes, my prince," the guards confirmed. "But they also have another daughter, who may not be as beautiful, but she is incredibly intelligent. She's the girl your father, the king, granted a scholarship to." Prince Obi nodded, remembering his father's words. "Oh, I remember now," he exclaimed. "What an amazing family. I would love to meet them and see where they live." "Don't worry, my prince," the guards assured him. "I will take you to their house first thing tomorrow morning." "Thank you," Prince Obi said gratefully, his heart racing with excitement. He couldn't wait to meet the family of the girl who had captured his heart. The next morning, Prince Obi was super excited to visit Chioma and Adama's house with the palace guards. As they walked through the village, Prince Obi couldn't wait to meet the sisters everyone was talking about. When they arrived at the cozy home of Chukwudi and Nkechi, Prince Obi was impressed by its simplicity. The family welcomed him warmly, making him feel right at home. As Adama greeted Prince Obi with her usual smartness and kindness, Chioma couldn't help but feel a bit jealous. She noticed the way Prince Obi's eyes lit up when he saw Adama, and it made her feel a little sad. Throughout the day, Prince Obi enjoyed getting to know the family. He was amazed by Adama's intelligence and charm. But every time he glanced at Chioma, he sensed something was bothering her. As the day went on, Chioma tried to hide her feelings with a smile, but Prince Obi could tell something was wrong. When it was time to leave, Chioma put on a brave face, but deep down she felt a mix of emotions. She couldn't help but wonder if her sister would always steal the spotlight. As Prince Obi said goodbye and left, Chioma couldn't help but wonder why her sister Adama always seemed to be liked by most people, even though she knew she was more beautiful than her. The next day, when Prince Obi saw Chioma, she felt a jumble of different feelings, completely, because she still felt upset about how he seemed to like her sister more. But another part of her was curious to hear what he had to say. As Chioma tried to sneak away without being noticed, Prince Obi rushed after her, his face looking worried. "Chioma, wait! Let me explain," he pleaded, sounding urgent. Chioma stopped reluctantly, turning to face the prince with a guarded look. "What do you want to explain?" she asked, sounding a bit angry. Prince Obi took a deep breath, thinking carefully about what to say. "I know you're mad, and I get why. But believe me when I say that I like you, not your sister," he said seriously. Chioma's eyes widened in surprise at his honesty. "But why were you smiling at her and talking to her so much yesterday?" she asked, sounding frustrated. The prince sighed, realizing that he had hurt Chioma without meaning to. "I admit, I might have given you the wrong idea. But I promise you, I wasn't paying attention to your sister because I like her more. It's because I care about both of you," he explained gently. Chioma wasn't sure what to think, feeling torn between doubt and hope. "How can I trust you?" she asked quietly. Prince Obi stepped closer, looking at her with determination. "Because I'm telling you the truth. You're the one I really like, Chioma," he declared, sounding sincere. Chioma thought for a moment, feeling a mix of emotions inside. Then, a small smile appeared on her face. "Well, you better not make me jealous again," she said teasingly. The prince grinned in relief, happy to see Chioma starting to feel better. "I promise I won't," he vowed, looking determined. As they walked back to the village together, Chioma felt a flutter of excitement in her heart. Maybe, she thought to herself, this was the start of something special. After Prince Obi and Chioma started dating, he began to notice some things about her. He realized that she could be disrespectful, didn't like cooking, and spent a lot of time making herself look flashy with makeup and going out. At first, Prince Obi tried to ignore these things, hoping that Chioma would change. But as time went on, the issues became harder to ignore. He found himself feeling frustrated and disappointed by Chioma's behavior. One day, they got into a big argument. Prince Obi tried to talk to Chioma about his concerns, but she became defensive and refused to listen. They shouted at each other, their voices echoing through the room. Chioma accused Prince Obi of trying to change her, while he felt like she wasn't taking their relationship seriously. It seemed like they were at a standstill, unable to see eye to eye. After the argument, Prince Obi felt torn. He cared about Chioma, but he also knew that their relationship couldn't continue like this. He wondered if they could find a way to work through their differences, or if it was time to go their separate ways. Meanwhile, Chioma was also feeling upset. She didn't understand why Prince Obi was making such a big deal out of things. She felt hurt that he didn't accept her for who she was. As they both took some time to cool off, they realized that they needed to have a serious conversation about the future of their relationship. They knew that they had to be honest with each other if they wanted to find a way forward. And so, as they sat down to talk, they both knew that their relationship was at a crossroads. They would have to decide whether they were willing to make compromises and work through their issues, or if it was time to say goodbye. One day, the king sent for Adama because he was struggling to solve some difficult puzzles. When she arrived at the palace, he was amazed at how quickly she was able to figure them out. The prince, who was also there, couldn't help but be impressed by her intelligence. "Wow, Adama, you're really smart," the prince exclaimed, giving her a round of applause. Adama smiled modestly, thanking them both for their praise. They ended up talking for a while, discussing everything from the puzzles to their favorite subjects in school. After Adama left the palace, Prince Obi couldn't stop thinking about her. He found himself admiring her intelligence and kindness more and more with each passing day. As time went on, Prince Obi realized that he was starting to develop feelings for Adama. He couldn't explain it, but there was something about her that drew him in like a magnet. But as much as he tried to ignore his feelings, Prince Obi couldn't deny the growing attraction he felt towards Adama. And so, he found himself facing a new dilemma: how to navigate his newfound feelings while still being respectful to Chioma. Hey viewers, if you're enjoying this story and want to see what happens next, drop a comment saying, "Continue." Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay updated with our latest videos. Let's get this channel to 500 subscribers. Your support means the world to us.